Welcome back to the Singer's Success Path podcast. I'm Kimara Morell, your host, and here we discuss the world of building a thriving career with our singing voices. No live performances required. We have a lot to cover today, so we're going to jump in right away. I just wanted to quickly remind you that there are a bunch of free resources for you at singerssuccesspath.com. So if you want to learn more, go check that out. Okay, I've got some awesome stuff to share today, inspired by a question I get so often. The big question is, how do I get more clients? I'm mainly going to address this around clients who hire us for demo singing or custom songwriting, but a lot of this applies to other endeavors for sure. So, when we think about getting more clients, it makes sense that marketing comes to mind. Getting more eyes on us means landing more clients, right? Well, unfortunately, I often see singers get more visibility. They buy the ads, place the bids, apply to jobs on the job boards, and still don't land many gigs. So, should we start blaming the customer for not making the effort to come into our store? Or should we turn the spotlight on ourselves and see if the problem is possibly with our store or our product? We're going to tackle this discussion in two phases. Phase one is about the product and the store itself. Phase two is getting in front of the eyes, okay? So here we go. Phase one, we're going to look at leveraging platforms, how your store window looks. This is your photo, your name, your headline, your demo reel, your about section. This is your accolades, your process, your terms of service, and your pricing, and then the proposals you're sending to clients. So we're going to talk about all these. Let's begin with leveraging platforms. If you haven't already, start by creating profiles on some of the best platforms to get demo singing gigs. Leveraging existing platforms can help you start getting paid gigs much faster than starting from scratch with your own website and marketing, which you still should do someday. But some platforms to get started on are going to be soundbetter.com, airgigs.com, vocalizer.com, network.landr.com. You have vocal, VOKAAL.com, and Fiverr is an option for sure. Okay, next let's talk about your store window. I use this metaphor quite a lot. I like to call the web pages where people land on to buy your services, these are your storefronts. And it might be time to renovate your stores. Think of when you've been walking through the mall to shop for clothes. There are plenty of clothing stores, but what makes you walk into one? There are many singers offering their demo singing services in these malls, the platforms. So how can yours stand out? So, what does your potential client see first? Your photo, your name, your headline. This is like looking through the front window of your store. And you may have a great photo already, but it's worth trying to switch it out to see if it helps grab more attention. The photo that represents your store, your product, it needs to be professional. It needs to convey professionalism and show us a little bit of your personality. So, no selfies. Your photo may just be a pro headshot, or it might have some glimpses of pop star vibes or country quality if that's your brand. You could be standing in a cool studio or in front of the mic, whatever feels good to you, as long as it looks professional. Your headline might say something like vocalist and songwriter, but so does everyone else's. So why not try and switch it up? Grab our attention with something that's either one of your accolades, or if you have a very niche style, put it in your headline to stand apart from the crowd. I've seen Grammy-nominated songwriter and vocalist, or pop perfect vocals. Trying different headlines is your chance to grab the client's attention, stand out, and if you have their attention for even just a moment, they may click play on your demo reel. So, the demo reel, that's where the money is. And that's also often where people lose clients. So, listen up. Rule number 1, when it comes to your reel, you have to edit it so we hear your voice immediately. If a client has to wait through a 20-second intro, you have likely lost them completely. Secondly, keep in mind your potential clients may have different interests, so it's wise to showcase the many different tones or ranges, styles that you sing. So, to accomplish that quickly, to cater to the short attention spans of busy artists, you need your reel to be an actual reel, not just a song. So, cut up 3 to 5 4-bar phrases from a variety of songs into a short demo reel that allows us to hear all your skills quickly. It takes the average client less than 10 seconds to decide if you're the one they want. Just like social media, if something doesn't grab our attention in like 2 seconds, we've already swiped past. So, really put a lot of effort into making a reel that accommodates the ever moving mind. Your reel is the closest representation of the product you will be delivering to your client. So, we need to take an honest look and listen to this product and evaluate whether or not it's even ready to go to market. If you play your reel next to a recent hit radio release, how does it compare? Better yet, have a listen to the top performers on Sound Better to get an idea. Are your vocals standing up to the competition? Are your vocals perfectly tuned? Because they need to be. Is your performance amazing? Are your edits clean? I don't want to scare you. If you're not a total mixing engineer, you don't have to be a full-on mixing engineer because your clients will most likely have the song professionally mixed after you send them your raw stems. But you are in charge of getting a high quality recording and having it tuned and edited. So if you're not quite there yet, you may consider partnering with a producer and splitting your revenue. Or you may want to take a course to perfect your vocal production skills. Plug, I made a course for this exact reason. I want to help singers launch their businesses, but I noticed many of them still need to step up their vocal production game. So that is available to you should you need it. Check it out on my website. Next, we're going to have a look at your About section. This is your description of services. Say we're the client. This is the journey we're on. First, we love your photo. Your headline was enticing enough to make us click the play button on your reel. We love your voice and we think you'd be perfect. So what do we do next? We'll read a little bit more, okay? Put yourself in their shoes. Look at your service description and really ask yourself, is there anything off-putting in your profile? Is your pricing structure confusing or too expensive? Maybe you price too low and that can make people worry that your service is mediocre. Don't price too low. You can always just tell them to contact you for pricing and keep that info private. Also, are you listing a ton of rules, terms of service, in a cold tone of voice? We don't want to come across like we're not fun to work with. You should still have your terms listed, but be as lighthearted as you can. I see it a lot. Profiles sounding like the singer is a drill sergeant. This is making music. It should be fun. How else can you make them interested in working with you? The answer? Accolades. It might feel cringe, but it's not. I used to think so. It's not superficial. It's just the easiest way to build trust. Having accomplishments listed on your profile, famous people you've worked with, stuff like that, helps your potential client know that you are someone who knows what you're doing. Like reviews, it's simple social proof to make them more comfortable hiring you. This can be any awards you've received or been nominated for, any contests you've won, if you have a high number of streams on Spotify, if you have an impressive number of followers. Big name producers and artists are probably the biggest one. If you've worked with a producer who's worked with famous people, you don't necessarily need to have a song released from them, but working with them counts. Even being an intern for them counts. List any labels you've worked with, TV networks your songs are on, famous recording studios you've worked at, stages you've performed on. Get creative. Think about it. If you need to hire a mixing engineer and you see that they have great credits or accomplishments, you'll feel good about your decision to hire them. You'll trust them more. So go ahead and brag. It's not cringe in this context. You may also include a section that tells us what your process is. Whatever it is, just make it feel simple and enjoyable. Don't be too rigid. Okay, let's talk about the proposal. Now, all the aspects of your store entice your potential client enough for them to actually contact you and tell you about their song. What they need now is a price and a vibe. It's time to send the proposal. Keep it short and sweet. Say hello in a friendly way. Find something about their song that you can compliment. Maybe even ask them if they have a link to their Spotify page because you'd love to hear more. Ask one big question about the project and tell them to please feel free to ask you any questions they may have. Asking questions gets them engaged, and once it feels like a conversation, it will likely lead to a booking. This is really just the time to show off your personality, make them feel excited to work with you, and also to feel good about their own song, baby. But this is not the time to start listing rules, asking about royalty splits. Just have that stuff in your policies on your profile. If they ask you about your terms, definitely answer them, but anything important should already be on your profile, and hopefully it doesn't need to come up in the conversation and damper the vibe. There is one not so fun fact to keep in mind. It's just a fact. Happens to me, happens to everyone, so do not get discouraged. A high percentage of clients who reach out to you will not write back to you after you've sent your proposal. I try to adopt the mindset to not even remember their name once you hit send. Once you sent that proposal, forget they exist. If they write you back and it begins a conversation, then remember them. Otherwise, it can feel really disappointing to be hoping they respond. Many of them just don't, and it's not your fault. Some people out there think you'll record a song for free or for $25, and they can kindly get out of your inbox. Making music is fun, so I get it why people think that, but this is our business, and so we can forgive them for what they don't know and move on. These platforms tend to be a great template for how we can show up elsewhere, whether it's on our own websites or social media pages, and even in DMs. Getting these storefronts up to a high standard is truly the first thing we should be focused on in regard to landing more clients. Then you can think about how to get in front of more eyes. And that brings us to phase 2, getting your product in front of more eyes. Here's how. Be everywhere, hit up those job boards, buy the ads on platforms where it applies, leverage algorithms, your upload rate. I'm going to talk about what that means in a sec. And of course, social media and other marketing endeavors. So be everywhere. You want eyes on you? Be where the eyes are looking. Make it a goal to be on as many platforms as possible because you never know where your client is looking for you. One of my favorite clients came to me unexpectedly from beatstars.com, where I have beats with hooks for sale. This wasn't even a place where I advertised my demo singing services, but it was a place where someone could hear my voice and contact me. Over time, I had the privilege of working with clients who actually have big followings. Doing a feature using my name on a bigger DJ's single has put me in front of other DJs who have reached out to hire me. So even Spotify might be a place where you're going to get some more clients from. I have even been hired by fellow students in courses I've taken. So just being present in as many places as you can while being open and sharing and putting it out there that you do this. Like, you got to let people know that you're a demo singer, and the light bulbs will go off. People will ask you about your service and they may hire you. All right, job boards. Some of these platforms have job boards where you can actually see postings of projects people need singers for. Apply for the ones you'd be amazing at. Platform ads. Places like Air Gigs and BeatStars do have options for you to pay to promote your services within the website. So a paid boost in visibility that leads to a paid job at like 3 times what the ad costs is definitely worth every penny, in my opinion. Algorithms. Get to know what certain websites respond to boost your visibility and trust factors. Things like fast response time, landing 5-star reviews, repeat customers, and even just staying logged into the site sometimes can contribute to better visibility. Yeah, it can kind of be a guessing game, but do everything you can that you think will please the website algorithm to give you more visibility. Okay, upload rate. I want to talk about this. Some websites like Vocal and Vocalio have a pretty cool way of letting us increase our visibility. These sites are focused mostly on licensing your acapellas, less about demo singing. But again, like my BeatStars story, you never know where your next client will find you. When you upload a new acapella on some of these sites, you automatically end up on the top of the list for new acapellas until other singers upload more, and that starts pushing your listing down. So it's a good idea to space out your uploads to maintain a higher position more often. Social media. Okay, it's time to treat our social media like a business. Some personal posts here and there are great to show people more of who you are, but keep most of your posts and your bio related to your singing business. This may mean doing videos of you lip syncing along to something you recorded, sharing recent releases, any other types of music posts. Build up your social media fastest by creating content people will want to share to their own stories, and try doing collaborative posts with other artists to cross promote and share audiences. Other marketing endeavors. Okay, it's really endless what you can do to market yourself. If you have your own website, you want to dive into SEO, that's search engine optimization, so you can train Google how to find you. This includes writing blog posts with keywords in them. You can also buy Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube, TikTok even, to advertise your services. But those tend to work better when you offer people some sort of discount or freebie. Freebies also help you build your email list so you can start sending out newsletters and flash sales. All right. Well, there you have it. A ton of ways to land more clients. I wish it was as simple as just buying an ad, but how often do you even buy from ads? You probably see 100 ads a day and click on one of them a week. Think about what would make you click and start putting yourself in the shoes of the other human beings who'd like to work with you. This is a building process, but it is so worth it. Just think about what the success of your demo singing business is going to mean for your life. It's truly an incredible feeling to become not only self sufficient, to be your own business, but to do this with music, to have a career making music on your own schedule. You can nurture your talent, you can grow your online presence, and have the life you want. You just have to start and then optimize from there. So, what can you do today to get started? Or what can you do today to optimize what you already have started? I'm rooting for you. We're rooting for you. That is all I've got to say about that. Thank you for listening. Couple announcements. I did release a quick start guide to launching your singing business. It's based on the 35 revenue streams for singers. It goes in detail on each one and helps you evaluate which 3 you want to go after. And there's a workbook with a template to show you how to lay out your own action plan. And I put my own example in there. My action plan looks like launching demo singing, acapella licensing, and sync licensing. So you could feel free to just copy mine if you're going after those. So if you need help taking action, that's there for you. It's at singerssuccesspath.com. I hope it helps. Join us next week. There's so much more to talk about. So I will see you there.